Hello and welcome to another episode of the Full Quarter Talk podcast. I'm your co-host Josh Masoki, along with
Jack Brazil. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Hey.
Out the Irish. Come on. Go on.
I was born in Ireland.
Were you actually?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I've got an Irish passport, man.
My guy. So we're all going pub after this, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I got an appointment, man. I've got an appointment.
Oh, I thought you were saying something else.
Oh shit.
Let me not get cancelled. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, and it's Mats Baranauskas as always.
As always.
As always.
Yeah, let's get into it. All right.
Let's get into it, man.
Man, we've had quite a week of basketball. Quite a week of basketball. We've been feasting. We've been eating good. But Jack, go on. List out the different performances.
Hey, man. So today's the 17th of March, St. Patrick's Day. And this month alone in the NBA has been crazy. We've had, let me just count quick, 7 50-plus point games, including 2 60-point games. There was a question earlier last week. We were having all these 50-point games. Who's going to be the first 60? And then to start this week, we had one on Monday and one on Tuesday. So the NBA is going crazy right now. It all started with LeBron hitting 56 on the 5th of March. Then the next night, your boy Jason Tatum hits 54. Then March 8th, Kyrie Irving goes crazy for 50. Then we go to the 11th of March where LeBron gets another 50-piece. Subsequently, the only 2 Lakers wins since the All-Star break is when LeBron and James had 50. But we're not talking about the Lakers today.
Oh yeah, one quick thing. That team will not be aired on this podcast.
Yeah.
Until play-in.
They're banished
For the remainder of the season until we deem necessary.
Yeah.
We're gonna go out of our way to avoid that. We feel like it's tainting the experience of our listeners.
And it's just not fun for us.
Yeah, see,
it's just not fun.
the use of the Lakers is to slander them when it's funny.
You said it.
It's to slander them when it's funny. To be fair, I'm repping right now. As you can see, I'm repping the Lakers right now.
Yeah.
But when it's funny, when you're bad and it's funny, it's cool. But now they're just bad. And it's not
sad.
It's not fun for anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But it's fun for non-Lakers fans.
Nah, it is. It's just annoying now. It's
fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kyrie. I mean, Kevin Durant then had 53 in the Garden, and then on Monday, Karl Anthony Towns goes crazy. Best shooting big man of all time. Made a real good stake for that claim.
The best shooting big man of all time. It's
when you're seeing 7-footers hit step back threes, did Dirk ever hit step back three?
It's not Dirk, okay.
And he had that crazy third quarter. 32 points in the third quarter. It's like the 5th most of all time. And then obviously on Tuesday we had Kyrie Irving going for the next franchise record 60. Watching that was a spiritual experience if I've ever seen one.
Most skilled player of all time, offensive player of all time.
100%.
In my opinion.
Especially at his size as well. Some of the stuff he does, like the thing that impresses me most is his finishing ability. Like, for him to be able to take some of the contact he takes and still finish is unbelievable.
He did the no dip catch and shoot shot again.
Yeah,
he's trying to find ways to make the game more difficult for him. He's clearly bored.
And this is the thing.
Playing once a week.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but think about it. Like, he could easily be out of rhythm because he's playing so little, and he didn't play the whole of the first half of the season. But he doesn't look like he's missed a beat at all, and
doesn't get any rust.
Exactly, and that's his career high. So you could argue this is the best version of Kyrie Irving that we've seen.
Yeah, to me personally, I grew up. Kyrie is my favorite player growing up, and I still that was an amazing performance, but. That 57-point game against the Spurs will still always be like just the way he was hitting,
like side steps.
Yeah, side steps, like going through the lane, and then hit so many clutch threes in that game as well to take it to overtime to win the game, and then obviously his 41-point game in the finals. But he's just displayed in so many different stages that he's.
It was annoying as well with that 60-point game because obviously he had 41 at the half, but it was a blowout.
Yeah.
So it was annoying. If the game was closely, it felt like a night he could have.
He plays once a
80.
week. He plays once a week. Should have just left him in, man.
But he still was playing like in the fourth quarter, and it was like that.
No,
a little bit, but not.
I know. I think Steve Nash kind of knew that he had to to appease the fans a little bit. And even though Orlando Magic fans were chanting, "We want Kyrie," because they knew, like, when NBA fans know universally that Kyrie, when he's on top form, he's must watch.
The Magic don't have a lot to
play
root for right now.
Yeah, exactly.
As fans,
they probably wanted to get torched even more so they could get that pick. But yeah, it honestly felt like a night where he could have gone for 80.
Yeah, and honestly, I think this is my opinion. Personally, I didn't get to witness the greatness of Dolph Schayes. But I think Kyrie is a top 75 player of all time.
Oh, yeah,
personally,
yeah.
I don't know.
But we said before that was a political move, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was definitely a political move.
I mean, I don't want to bring up any current players that he should be over, but
damn.
I mean, he ran for the grind twice, so I guess that's, you got to factor that in, I guess.
But in NBA history, this is the second most. It's tied for the second most 50-point games in a month with 7, with 1962.
And still have.
And obviously, you probably know you contributed to a lot of those 50-point games in 1962. And we still have like 2 weeks left of this month.
Yeah. And there's no part-time. Well, Kyrie's a part-time player, but there's no again, milkmen and
electricians and what do you think has enabled, like, the players to go crazy this month? Do you think it's like them being more focused, or do you think it's other teams being less focused?
I was watching B-Ball Breakdown. They were talking about Kyrie's performances, both the Magic one and the who's the one against again?
I can't remember, but his other 50-point game
both,
this year,
both 50+ point games, and he was kind of saying it's a combination of, right now at this point of the season, there's a combination of the lower end teams kind of not caring anymore, and the teams like the Nets that are trying to go for positioning right now, seeding wise. So it kind of it creates that platform where you have the best teams trying harder than ever to get better positioning, and the worst teams like not caring as much. But with Kyrie, in Kyrie's case, it was insane though, because they were triple teaming him. They were triple teaming the whole game pretty much until
the thing is, historically in NBA history, March has been a very high scoring month. A lot of players get 50-point games in there, and a lot of players get their career highs in March. Like Larry Bird had his career high in March. I think Magic Johnson had his career high in March. So I think it is that point in the season, as you said, where a lot of teams now know they're not making the playoffs,
and fresh off the break as well.
And a lot of teams are kind of cemented where they are, almost not this year as much, but historically, and fresh off the break as well. A lot of teams do refocus. So that's what I think that accredits to. But like us as NBA fans, we're feasting right now, man.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We are feasting. I'm just waiting for a ball to hit 50, but the way we're playing, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
And I think just players are more focused towards the playoffs. Yeah, like trying to hit their peak as a team, and just
what 50 or 60-point performance impressed you lot the most?
I'll be biased on this one.
You can't say Jason Tatum, come on.
Wasn't it against Nets?
Yeah, but
it was. And KD.
Yeah, his was very impressive because he also was like clamping them up on the other end as well. I'm biased. I've got to go Kyrie. The combination of both. Like,
for me, I think it's Cat, man.
Because let me read you out, because I guess I'm kind of spoiling it, but we're gonna do our players of the week in terms of different performances, and I've got Kyrie because he's got 2 50-point games. The first game, he was 50 points, 15 for 19 shooting, 9 for 12 from 3, 11 for 13 from 3. And then with the second one, he was 20 for 31, 8 for 12 from 3, and 12 for 13. His field goals and 3-point field goals matched the bench.
It's crazy.
Yeah, wow.
Like that's, and this guy's playing one game and then missing a week, and then he's old enough. Watching a game courtside.
That rule really makes no sense, man. Just like we just want to see Kyrie back to full playing ability as well, and it would make the playoffs so much more interesting if he could play.
Because he's not even at peak shape, because he's not even able to play as much as he should.
Yeah.
So, It's insane.
I think that for me though, that Carl Anthony Towns 60-point effort, especially with the story. I don't know if you saw the tweet. It was like 2 years to the day since his mum passed as well. So it was just kind of that whole moment to me made it so special. And I think
it was to when his parents got admitted, but still significant.
And that third quarter was spiritual. If you've seen that quarter, like Jakob Poeltl must still be waking up in cold sweats in the middle of the night. It was like it would be a step back, then just splash a three, and then it'd be a pump fake at the top of the key, one dribble, dunk. Like Jakob Poeltl was getting cooked, and the thing is, he got a good majority of those buckets as well. It's not like you can say anyone else was guarding him and they got a little share. Jakob Poeltl got a nice chunk of that 60.
You could have seen Kobe's record get broken if they were playing the Bulls, but
hey, you're actually probably not wrong as well. That's the thing. But the Timberwolves look really impressive.
Yeah,
right now. The Timberwolves, and like that must be such a relief to Carl Anthony Towns as well, because he's kind of stuck with this franchise, and there was obviously they drafted quite well, but a lot of their draft picks were quite obvious, like Anthony Edwards and stuff. But it looks like they've now got it to work, and I've got to give a huge part of that credit to Chris Finch. Chris Finch came in kind of unknown. They weren't really sure how that was going to work out. Obviously spent some time in the BBL over here, spent some time coaching the London 2012 Olympic team, so he didn't have the greatest reputation, but I think this was his first head coach job in the NBA as well, if I'm not mistaken. But he's done a tremendous job. And just, I know we said we weren't mentioning them, but just have a little stat. Since the Lakers and the Timberwolves are both 24 and 24, the Timberwolves are 17 and 6, the Lakers are 5 and 16. And
Timberwolves still have a chance to make it playoffs straight away.
Yeah, 100%.
A game and a half behind Denver Nuggets. And
I mean, when we were talking about the East being tight,
I think the West got tighter.
The West got a lot tighter.
Yeah.
I mean, the Phoenix, that point, the Suns are just gone. Yeah. Like they're gonna hit 65 wins probably. Like they're gone. But
there's like battle for second place.
There's battle for second place, and then past that, 4, 5, 6, 7, all within 2 games of each other. 2 games of each other. Yeah.
This is what we like to see at this point of the season.
Yeah.
Because every game's gonna matter. So.
And then because usually if it's like already settled, like players are not playing, they're resting, and now they have to play.
Yeah.
I think the nature of the season, though, of how many people have been out, in and out of lineups. I feel like there was not going to be a lot of resting anyway, just because a lot of teams are trying to get rhythm back. A lot of teams across the board in terms of playoffs in the East and West have missed star players or important players of their team for a while. So a lot of them are probably going to continue to play their players right up to the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. Because like every team needs it, as you said. Also, I think Patrick Beverley's been a fantastic addition to that Timberwolves team. And we all saw what he did last night.
He's not just running around anymore.
He's not, man.
Yeah.
And I appreciate what he said on JJ Redick's podcast about Westbrook, kind of how he felt like he harmed his reputation. It was not.
No, I watched the whole thing. Yeah.
It was like refreshing to hear him say that, like actually be so truthful about it, like how it actually kind of like affected his status in the league. Because like we kind of just see it as a meme, but you have to realize like that's a man's career, and it did kind of damage him because he wasn't seen as like this defensive stopper anymore that he built that reputation up as, and now he's kind of bit by bit rebuilding his reputation. So I like to see that.
Yeah, but his value is undeniable, especially the intangibles. But I think that there was a point, I think it's somewhere in the middle now. There was a point where he was being regarded as like one of the best defenders, and I think the way he defends, there is a lot of hacking involved.
Yeah.
And so
physical style of
so it went in all the way in the other direction.
Yeah.
To where, because there are he gets lit up by a lot of like those style guys, and that's what Russ was referring to, because I think it was after a game where Harden went off against him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he lies somewhere in the middle. He's an elite. He's elite in the way that he pressures guards, but yeah, he's not I wouldn't put him in like
The upper echelon.
the upper tier, because the upper tier is players that can do it without fouling.
Like Drew Holiday.
Yeah, that can do it without
Alex
fouling.
Caruso.
And then also, I don't have.
What's funny?
Yeah, man.
He's
Yeah,
a great defender.
carry on.
Yeah, man. He did a job on Donovan Mitchell last night, man.
We're not talking about that.
And then also, I don't feel too bad for him because, I mean, Russ might have. I doubt Russ ruined his career that much just by saying that. If GMs really look at that, about Russ saying one quote, then yeah. But I mean, I think Russ not missing a game until Pat Bev dove into his knees and he had 3 surgeries since. I think that probably had a bigger effect on Russ's career than any comment that he made. But
yeah, you're probably right, to be fair. Speaking about diving into knees, Marcus Smart taking a note out of Patrick Beverley's book last night.
Okay.
Dirty player, man. Dirty player. What's your take on that? Do you think?
Well, he didn't mean it.
Okay.
Yeah. So and the thing is, Marcus Smart dove for the ball, and then Curry stepped in.
Yeah.
And it happened then. Smart smashed into his leg.
Yeah.
But yeah, the literally seconds after that, when he kicked Klay Thompson, that's like that.
Yeah.
I have no one for that. But the thing is,
that's a basketball play.
Yeah,
that's a basketball.
Like the thing is, like everyone are angry about that, but like in the bubble when we played the Toronto Raptors, Tyus got literally switching music by Siakam. You literally Siakam just did switching music to Tyus and nothing happened.
Yeah, but Daniel Tyus is not Steph Curry. That's why no one cared.
I'm talking about Klay Thompson play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Daniel Tyus is not Klay Thompson.
and as you know, Daniel Tyus never gets called for a foul.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, for Curry play is unfortunate. Like he didn't mean it. Like he dove for a ball.
That is so unfortunate for the Warriors, though. Like they just got Draymond back. And now Curry might be out for an extended period of time.
Yeah, well, they've had that. They've only had that original 2015-16 core for like 3 games this season.
And they were ramping up the talk. Like Draymond, especially, was saying that when we were healthy, we're gonna win this title. And now,
I hope it's nothing serious.
Yeah, so do I. In the past 3 seasons, Warriors are 18 and 57 when Curry doesn't play. Obviously, they had that 1 year where everyone was hurt, so that's probably contributing a lot to that, but Curry is the Golden State Warriors as much as Draymond is as well, so that's going to be a big miss. And the Grizzlies now could cement that second seed now.
I do wish I didn't drop Jordan Poole.
Who hasn't now?
Off yesterday.
Oh, he had Allen.
Yeah, that's fine.
He was playing well yesterday.
We don't care about him. He's not a threat.
Not a threat.
He's not a threat.
All right. So what? Let's talk about the performances. So
yeah,
I already gave my best.
I said Cat. So
you said Cat.
I would say Trae Young.
Ooh,
because he had 47 and 46 back-to-back games.
Yeah, but didn't yesterday he like stunk it up?
Yeah, he had 9 points. But like 2 games, like 46, 47.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
I feel like we're not talking.
Yeah, Trae Young is not Trae Young. I think Trae Young is not talked.
It's because of how much the team regressed.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think last year we kind of all expected the Hawks to kind of have like a period of being a good team.
No. I like some people said, oh, Hawks gonna be like top 3.
No, that was a bubble run type.
No.
Yeah.
But it's like
I didn't expect him to be this bad though.
That's what I mean.
I didn't expect it. Like I expected it to be maybe 7.
There was some wild takes last year though. It was like, see, Trae Young can actually lead a team through the playoffs. He's much better than Luka Doncic and shit.
And now you actually see what Luka's doing.
You know, Luka's playing against Clippers every year and losing.
Yeah, but.
Well, that's because they got Marcus Morris to injure him every year as well.
Yeah, that's true as well.
And also, like Luka is unbelievable in those series. Like,
yeah.
they're not losing because
Like if you
like
see
Luka
like
literally owns the LA team.
if you see the like his average stats against every team, and it's like Clippers like 36 something like that.
I still remember that the bubble shot over the Black History Month logo. That was hilarious.
No, it was Black Lives Matter.
But like Lucas since the All-Star break has been playing like the MVP.
Yeah.
And if you look at the win totals, he's very close to those other three candidates, which which is.
I mean, and he's not getting buzz as well.
Yeah.
I don't know
To be
why.
fair, he's like Dallas higher than the Nuggets at the moment.
Yeah, and
And
we've got to talk about the Mavs because
Yeah.
we were very vocal when that trade went through about how we thought it was just like stupid because Spencer Dinwiddie had been playing so bad.
To be fair, we were saying that on both sides. It just didn't.
Yeah. We said it made more sense for the Wizards because you're pairing like Bradley Beal with a good big man, but we weren't fans of the trade on both sides really.
Because Dinwiddie and
But I feel like we were a lot more critical of the Mavericks than we were of the Wizards.
yeah, Dinwiddie and Bertans were not playing well at that
Yeah.
point. So those contracts look terrible. Now they're still not great, but if they're going to be playing, if Dinwiddie's going to be playing like this, and taking pressure off Luka,
Yeah, like having another guy who can create his own shot and handle the basketball has been so important for him because like Kristaps relied a lot on Luka's playmaking. And because he wasn't being as aggressive as you'd like him to be, and his outside shot wasn't falling, and his defense wasn't what it was in New York, it kind of just wasn't a great fit on that team. But now that you have someone who's trying on defense and can make his own shot, and as we've seen in the last two games, can win you a game, that's so important for Luka. I don't know how is
Bertans doing.
how's Bertans. I don't know how he's been doing, but I'm sure having a guy that can space the floor can only kind of help, right?
Yeah. Another thing though, watching the Mavs though is outside of that trade, Jalen Brunson's going to get paid this offseason.
Oh yeah,
100%.
But he wants a lot of money.
Yeah,
Though.
he wants a lot.
I think he said he wants 20 mil a season.
Yeah, he's not going to be a Mav.
Yeah, he's not going to be a Mav. But then when
So getting Dinwiddie is even more important.
yeah. But then what do the Mavericks do once they lose?
Yeah, so if you want to know how Bertans is playing, last game 3 points, game before 3 points, Houston 6 points, no points against Knicks. Yeah. His best game was against Utah. It was 25th of February, 17 points.
But that just goes to show, like sometimes team composition, Lakers, is better than personnel.
We said we're not.
No, I know, but it was there. It was so obvious. It was easy. It was
You
a
can just
layup.
refer to them as
It was a layup. No, but like team composition is, in most cases, way more important than talent.
yeah.
And the Dallas Mavericks 8-2 since the All-Star break. They're showing that.
And there was a few rumors about locker room issues with Dinwiddie. They didn't like him for some reason in Washington. So, because apparently, like he showed up and was kind of trying to be really vocal in the locker room despite being a new player. But I don't know what they're trying.
Which is a good thing.
I don't know
why is
what
that
type.
bad?
I don't know what they're trying to preserve out there. Like they have such a cemented culture in Washington.
Like a winning
Probably
culture.
he tried to be like more vocal than maybe Bradley Beal, and like that didn't like.
Got
they
it
didn't
done
like
well.
I mean, what Beal? We just get a shot of him crying every other game, don't we?
Stockholm syndrome. So he's another one.
And they're about to give the keys to the franchise to Kuzma anyway. So
Yeah.
it. He's playing well, so.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
It's Wizards. It's Wizards.
How is Porzingis been in?
But
in Washington?
Bill's injured and he's
He's
probably about to get thrown like 260 million this offseason. So
100%,
that's 260 million reasons to stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Porzingis is 16, 25, 14, 19, 25.
I mean, Porzingis is
It's not that.
he's a very good NBA player.
Well, he
But
won only one game as a Wizard, so.
he's won only one game. Oh yeah, I remember they won their first game against Indiana, and then people were kind of like, yeah, the Wizards won that trade.
Oh yeah, against Indiana, then like
Yeah.
They've lost five straight.
They've
lost five straight.
Yeah, the Wizards, they're in that limbo. It's not great. obviously you can't really judge.
They were number 1 team at one point in the season.
They were, yeah. But that was when everyone got injured and
Montrezl Harrell, MVP candidate, remember?
It was also a lot when all the G Leaguers were coming into the league.
Yeah.
So there's a big asterisk. They're 11th now.
Yeah, that's back when the Bulls were on top, remember?
Yeah.
How quick they are to forget. How quick they are to forget.
It's that type of season, that time of season where all the frauds are.
They're like Wizards are 5.5 games behind them.
Let's talk about frauds. Let's talk about some of the worst performances this week.
Let me go last.
You want to go last?
I've got some.
Do you want to go first?
No.
Oh, I'll go first then. Nikola Vucevic. I'll admit because the evidence is there, so I can't run away from it. I have flip-flopped a lot on Nikola Vucevic this year.
Yeah, I lost.
Start of the year, he looked bad. Then Zach LaVine goes down, everyone gets injured, he looks a lot better. I was quoted saying that he looked like Orlando Vuce again. Now, I don't know what it is. When everyone's healthy, he just takes a backseat. And when he's not contributing on the offensive end, which he doesn't need to as much when we have everyone healthy, he contributes nothing because he can't do it on the defensive.
Billy Donovan just needs to listen to Stacey King and just throw it into the post every play.
Stacey King is like stuck in 2002 or something. Like he's like, the game's easy. Not when you're going up against Rudy Gobert. The game is not easy. But like, yeah, Vucevic is just stripping for all these centers every time I watch him, and it's just not fun. And also when he gets switched onto a guard, it's barbecue chicken. Like it's just like, I thought he was a better defender than he is. I was tricked a little bit because we had Caruso and Lonzo like helping him and trapping the big man. But now when he's put on an island, he gets put on that island with nothing, no food, no water.
Deserted island, man.
It's deserted.
Deserted island.
And you only have to look at Rudy Gobert's stat line last night to see how detrimental Vooch is to our defense right now. He just doesn't look focused, and he looks frustrated. He gets frustrated so easily, and his head just doesn't look in it. And 10 and 11 last night. His outside shot's not falling. So yeah, that's why I'm really scared for the playoffs, because we've discussed this a lot, but every good team has a good big man, and if we don't, and Tristan Thompson, it hasn't helped that. Like, Tristan Thompson's been good for us, but like he's not a stopper. He's not a defensive stopper. So I think that's if the Bulls were to make a big acquisition in next free agency, I would look no further than to get a good big man, because.
Who would you try to get?
Luckily, that's not my job.
Do you think maybe Mickey Mouse Clubhouse might do a little switch, big man for big man?
Who?
Mickey Mouse.
What? Anthony Davis?
Yeah, I just think.
Bro, if the Lakers got rid of Anthony Davis for Vucevic,
do you think
I mean, I wouldn't put it past that front office.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Have you seen? I guess we have to a little bit, but they've been doing some damage control, saying that they like every side of it. LeBron, the front office, they all seem to say that they wanted to trade for DeRozan.
Oh yeah,
but something fell apart on the other side.
Man.
Some nice damage control there.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for the off season.
And wait, do you think it's Vucevic playing? Is it better for Vucevic to play just with one like star like LaVine or DeRozan? Because as you said, he was playing as a third. Like,
well, when LaVine was out and DeRozan went on that historic run, Vooch was like putting up 24 and like 12 on great shooting. So I think Vooch gets kind of lost in the offense when LaVine and DeRozan handle so much of the ball. He kind of doesn't know what to do. Like he'll set a screen and then he'll fade, which is why Stacey King is so vocal and frustrated about why doesn't he just go inside the paint sometimes. And I don't know if that's Billy Donovan's instructions, but Vucevic's three-point shot this year has not been good. I don't know the exact. Let me get it up. But like,
that's the thing, that we're at a place in the league now where people like Vucevic and Anthony Davis, they were considered like good shooters just because they were big and shot above 30%. But now most of the big shooters are actually legitimately good three-point shooters. So
yeah, Vooch is shooting
30% is not good enough.
Vooch is shooting 30% this year from three, so he's not a threat out there. inside, like he's still hard to stop inside. Like if he went to that more, it would also give our perimeter guys more space. But he doesn't do it enough. And yeah, I don't know why Billy Donovan, if he hadn't said that to him, I don't know why he hasn't. But yeah, man, Vooch is, if he's not contributing on the offensive end, he's not doing much at all, apart from rebounding, which and even then, he cannot grab an offensive rebound to save his life. Like if you put a gun to Vucevic's head and say grab this offensive rebound, he would be dead. So yeah, that's my worst performance of the week. The Bulls have to figure this thing out quick, because I don't know if they let the media attention get to them at the start of the season when everyone was gassing us up, and now they're kind of, I don't know, but it doesn't look good right now, and it's quite painful to watch the Bulls. Like I didn't mind watching the Bulls when we were actually bad, and I expected us to be bad because my expectations were on the floor. So I was like, okay, I'll watch this game because I want to see how Kobe White is progressing, or Chris Dunn is progressing, or something. But now that
watch my team that won the the trade deadline last year.
But
they keep tricking you, man.
Now that I'm going into the game, knowing that wins are valuable, and knowing that teams like the Celtics are creeping up on us.
Well, we overtook you.
Huh?
We overtook you.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're not creeping up on you,
yeah.
mate. They're game ahead.
But yeah, knowing that we have to win now, and knowing now that if we play a team with a semi-good record, we're not going to win, is quite painful. But Vooch only 2 seasons ago, by the way, last year, shot 40% from free, and I was shooting 30%. I don't know what happened. I think it's just a confidence issue with him, and he doesn't look confident at all right now. But yeah, that's my worst performance of the week anyway. That's my rant over. Who wants to go next?
Matas, go ahead. Because my one will take us into the next topic. So.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Like, I think there's been more very good performances than very bad performances last week.
Yeah.
With all the points and stuff. So I don't know. For me, like personally disappointing. Derek White has been playing very poorly recently. Like especially offensively, he can't hit a shot. Like he
seems like quite a streaky player.
Yeah, but his 3-point percentage is very last few games. Like he can't hit a shot. So and hopefully, coming into playoffs, because everyone wants players to be at their peak coming playoffs. So hopefully he can shoot his way out of that slump before playoff starts.
How important do you think he is to your success, though?
I think
if Derek White has a bad series, do you think that's the difference between a loss and a win?
I don't think so. But the thing is, if he's playing defensively, yes, because he would be in our probably closing lineup with Tatum, Brown, Smart, and Rob Williams, and that defensive lineup is very good. But then offensively, we have Tatum and Brown. So
in this East, you can't afford for anyone that you rely on to be cold, because right now, the first round is going to be a second round type matchups. Second round is going to be conference final type matchups.
But we don't rely on him offensively. That's a good thing. But of course,
the margins are so tight. You could swing it either way.
1 3-point shot, could, because last night against the Warriors, Pritchard had 8 straight points in the fourth quarter, and game before against Dallas, he missed a open 3-point, and we lost game because of that. So it's very small margin. So I would probably say personally Derek White, because as a Celtics fan, and I hope that he can shoot his way out of that slump.
Actually, let's get our surprising or underrated performances out of the way, because I'm dedicating the next whole segment towards mine. Towards mine.
I'm just going to say Pat Bev. I just think he's been very valuable for the Timberwolves, and a big reason why they're on such a good streak. So I'm going to say Patrick Beverley, because I did get tricked by the media a little bit, thinking that he was kind of finished a little bit. So I don't know if it's good to see him back, because he's not a very likeable person, but he's back. So.
Well, he's playing very well, so I don't know.
Shout out to Darius Baisley. He's averaging 27, 40% shooting.
What, for this week?
Yeah.
That's the only reason you wanted to do underrated, isn't it?
No, I had Brunson originally.
Yeah.
I had Brunson originally. He's who I had in mind. but we already talked about him. So
Yeah.
yeah, so shout out Bailey.
Josh Hart had 44 points.
Yeah,
And the
Oh,
thing is,
yeah.
I was annoyed because in fantasy I was looking day before. I was looking, should I put him? But I saw the last few games. They're like 5 points, 4 points. No, I will skip it.
that's because that was the minus curse. I've had him for like a month, and then he was averaging, he was averaging like 40 for a month, and then I play Manus for a week. He averages 3. Yeah, he literally averages 3 points for a week.
Yeah.
And then as soon as my matchup with Manus ends, he's back to 40. Yeah. Did he have like a 57 or something like
I
that?
think he had more.
70.
Yeah, I think so.
So I picked him
something
back
like
up. So yeah.
Yeah,
That's
shout out
the-
to
It's good to see Josh Hart hooping though. He's
Yeah,
Yeah.
always been a very good, solid role player. And
yeah,
Yeah, man, look at that. Look at that. 6, 7, 76.
yeah.
it's actually, bro, that guy
Yeah,
sold
he's
his
playing
soul.
well in Portland as well. So yeah, but his Portland.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
worried that his role would shift dramatically, but he's had an even bigger role. And now
Yeah.
Anthony Simons is out, so he's their best offensive weapon as well. So yeah, and he does so many things. Like as a guard rebounder, he's elite.
Yeah, he's very good rebounder.
Defensively, he's great.
It'll be interesting to see what role he goes into once Simons comes back and once Dame comes back, because if he like becomes a solid third option, then that's a W trade for the Trailblazers. Like,
I think that's a
yeah.
playing team, man.
yeah.
I think he has to be third option. Like who else?
No, but I'm saying if he's a good third option,
Yeah.
like he can be a third option and be. But like if he's
I want him on a contender because he's that perfect
He can
player
help.
for a
He can help on
contender.
the-
He can help with the contender, man.
like a kind of 3-and-D wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Josh Hart.
Josh Hart, cool.
All right, let's talk topic of the day. Let's talk about them 76ers, man. Them fraudulent 76ers. Our beautiful game is ruined, man. Our beautiful game.
We called this, man. As soon as that trade went through, we called it, and I was kind of hoping it wouldn't come true to this extent, but boy,
James Harden, since the Nets game,
yeah.
well, including the Nets game, 19 for 59.
But how many points has he averaged?
Like, I think he had like 80 or 90 points on 19 made field.
Yeah, like the guy is still getting
It's
his.
disgusting.
He's still getting his 20, but
It's disgusting.
watching 76ers games are hard. Like that.
Yeah.
The free
Long
throws
as
ruined for me. It ruined the MVP matchup. That game was touted as like
Disgusting, man.
as one of the biggest games of the year, but it was just fucking James
It's just the
Harden
hypocrisy when you
and
see
Joel Embiid playing free throw golf. Like,
when you see Jokic getting hacked and they don't call it, and then you see like Harden and Embiid have that thing. They got their head move.
yeah,
Yeah.
Whenever they're in trouble, they snap their head. Like yesterday, they hit some fraud shit. Like it was a tied game, or it was written. No, they were breaking it down. I think it was a 2-point game, and they had to either trap or foul, but they went for the trap, and they tied the ball up. Mobley tied up Harden.
you don't hear that?
Voice crack.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking hell.
But yeah, Mobley, they literally trapped Harden in the corner, and Mobley tied him up, and he had complete control of the ball, and then Harden just goes like that, and then they call a foul. He literally just snapped his head back for no reason. They called a foul, and that was the end of the game. So it's disgusting, and they'll say, "Oh, if your team's player was doing it, you wouldn't be complaining."
Yeah.
But we know how this story ends.
Exactly. When those playoffs hits,
They don't call that.
the
They
refs swallow their whistle,
Yeah,
man. They
exactly.
swallow their whistle.
They're not
That'll be
calling
very
that.
interesting
And-
to see.
The thing that annoys me the most is that a lot of the time when those two drive, you can tell they're not driving with the intent of scoring. They're
Yeah,
driving with the
they're
intent of
drawing foul.
getting fouled or selling a foul, which is not the way basketball should be played. But
James Naismith did not. This was not his intentions.
bro,
You've got Kyrie, who's like that's what he was envisioning. Like,
Yeah.
that was Kyrie.
that was his perfect basketball player.
And then you've got Harden. Like,
It's like you're just committing crimes against the sport, man.
yeah, and then oh my.
What else was I gonna say?
And we're getting a glimpse already from that Nets game. We're getting a glimpse of the Harden Doc Rivers choke gene as well. That's very much in place.
So a glimpse of what's to come in the playoffs. 100%.
I mean, yeah.
Do you think? Why do you think the refs still call it just for those two though? Because surely they know, like.
They put a lot with Embiid, especially with Embiid.
I know there's superstar calls, but when they've been tricking you for this long,
Embiid does put a lot of pressure on the defense.
I think Embiid's ones are definitely more fouls than Harden.
Sometimes Embiid 100% fouls and doesn't get called.
Yeah, because Embiid is so dominant, a lot of times the defense has to foul him.
Exactly.
Whereas Harden is good at selling it, and he's been doing this for I think from 2014 to 2019 until he left the Rockets, he led the league every year in free throw attempts. So Harden knows how to get to the line. And you saw, do you remember at the start of this year when they started calling the fouls differently? The strops he was throwing when he wasn't getting his foul calls, and now they've started calling it back to how it was.
No, I don't think they are though. It's not the specific rules that they were changing was to do with I think it was more to do with landings.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
Yeah. So that
landing space and stuff.
That still isn't being called. Like
I feel like he wasn't getting as many calls.
Like
though.
the jump. Yeah, but
like the pump fake.
Yeah, the pump fake can jump into their space, but with Harden, they were trying to use him as like the poster boy as well for
him
it,
and Trae Young were
and not calling anything. Period. And I think at that point there were things that they just weren't calling that were fouls. But yeah, he's back into his snapping his head back. You know what's funny? His beard actually like helps because the movement like.
Yeah, because someone can hit his beard and not his face.
Like someone literally touches like that, like here, and he just snaps his head back, like
because he feels it, doesn't he?
It's,
and then
it's like instinctual for him now, like to just snap his head back, like whenever anything happens. There's no. I've got a teammate on my team, and he plays just like Harden, and I hate like. Yeah, it's.
I can imagine this guy like stroking his beard. He just goes out instantly. Like
yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how like it converts into playoffs.
It's not interesting. We've seen this play.
He's not gonna convert.
We've seen this play before, man.
No, but like, are they gonna fold in the first round?
Oh, who would be their matchup
right now?
So to be fair, like Harden outside of the free throw line, he's been a good playmaker, but like offensively, he's been quite bad. Like as you just said with his shooting percentage. He's and all year like his shot has not been falling all year pretty much. He had a little spell just before the All-Star break, but apart from that, his shot outside the free throw line has not been falling. So if that trend continues in the playoffs, obviously Embiid
is a big factor.
Embiid alone can win you a playoff series.
Yeah,
he's so dominant that the way Embiid plays, like with all those other bigs in it, he's gonna limit the other bigs' minutes as well.
Yeah.
He's gonna have you in foul trouble, and his play style translates to the playoffs. The only problem with this is that if Harden's playing so bad to the point where Embiid has to overexert himself, and then the injury issues follow, which is what I was talking about when the trade happened. Like that, this is what I was scared of. Like
I'm quite confident that Embiid can stay healthy though, because he's had like his healthiest season of his career right now.
He was having the healthiest season of his career until he got injured last year as well.
But he's playing a lot.
But that's what I mean. He's been playing a lot, and he plays very physical basketball, and he's still had no signs of injuries. So the trend is that he should be okay to still show that load. Obviously, there's more physical play in the playoffs. So
yeah, exactly.
But he had that nasty fall against who was it? Was it the Nets? Where he landed right on his back.
Oh, yeah.
Or was it the Nets? No, it was the Nuggets. It was the Nuggets. Jeff Green hit him in the air, and he had that nasty fall. And it was in his lower back as well, where he's had a lot of those problems. Yeah. So I was kind of worried, but that kind of showed me that he's more
But
more
that is
healthy
the thing,
than ever.
though. His play style is perfect for the playoffs because you can't, because it's easy in terms of it's not like the Bulls where they're getting tough shots, difficult shots. The Clippers back in the day getting difficult shots. Embiid in his sleep can get the shots that he wants.
He's the definition of a 3-level scorer.
Yeah,
Joel Embiid.
And he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to work hard for his points either.
Yeah,
so.
literally, it looks so easy for him.
Yeah.
And like he'll just happily take a jump shot over anyone.
But if anyone can lose with Embiid, it's head coach Doc Rivers.
He was born with that sellout gene, man.
Yeah.
It would be funny if there was
they blow another 3.
I think you got to take him off the 75 list.
You have to.
You got to take him off that list if he blows another. You should. I don't think he
having 3.
On it anyway.
I think blowing 3-1 leads cancels out a championship.
They should take the banner down. take his like.
It should be on his record.
Adam Silver shows up at his house, takes his ring off him. So that means he'd have negative championships. Oh man. But yeah, that mixture, like those three together, or especially Harden and Doc Rivers together,
Yeah.
it could be a recipe for disaster. But at the same time, it could also go the other way. But I think a lot of people were touting the 76ers as the favourites to come out of the East when that trade was made. But
They're not.
They're not.
They're not coming out of the East.
They're not. I don't think they're coming out of the East either. But like Tobias Harris hasn't got any better.
Yeah, exactly.
as well. That's the thing.
Tobias Harris, he's not fit well with this at all.
Yeah.
No.
At least Max is playing well.
Maxey's playing well. Thibauld's still playing well, but he's still a liability on offense.
But even Maxey, he's playing well, but you can still see a little bit of when Harden's hitting on all cylinders, it's perfect. But as Harden starts to not take as much pressure off, then it kind of gets to
And
where
can
you're
you-
just using Maxey as a spot-up shooter, and that's not his game.
Can you trust Maxey to be, if Harden's not hitting, the second offensive option on a conference finals team?
I don't think so.
Yeah, like he's a good player, but he hasn't had that experience. So, yeah, it's tough for the Sixers, man. Like they're gonna finish the season in the top 3 seed. They might even
Like it's very.
they could even get the
very
top
close.
seed, whatever.
It's
Like,
very, very close.
but out of those teams, actually, who would scare you more in the playoffs, the Heat or the Sixers?
Sixers.
In the whole,
Sixers, yeah, 'cause of Embiid.
because in the whole East, I would, as a coach, the player I least want to plan for is Embiid.
Embiid,
yeah.
I do not want to have to game plan for it. Joel
Because there's
Embiid.
no plan.
There is no plan.
Yeah.
To be fair,
And
if you have Al Horford, anything's possible.
To be fair, his track record.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
shows it, so-
Embiid is very good.
Yeah, but for like now at like 37 for 7 games, put that boy into the retirement home after that series. bro.
Probably.
Fucking hell. Yeah, man.
I don't know. But yeah, I would rather play Heat than.
And another thing,
Sixers.
the Sixers don't seem to have like a leader as well.
Mm.
'Cause-
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
like a vocal presence
Yeah.
on the floor.
yeah,
I
like,
feel-
you have Doc Rivers, but he's
It's Doc Rivers.
you know what I mean. So when they do get into that adversity in the playoffs, and now as you're seeing, as soon as they have a little bit of pressure on them, that Nets game, the pressure wasn't even on them in that Nets game. The pressure was all on Ben Simmons, and they still found a way to sell.
Yeah.
And like as soon as they went down, they went down. They did not fight. They did not fight back.
Mm.
As soon as they got a bit of pressure,
That's
and is that showing
typical
you?
of Doc Rivers teams, isn't it? Not-
Yeah, is that showing you that as soon as they get hit, they're staying down? Like, yeah, they don't have another gear in them.
Yeah.
And that you need that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Like, because Sixers in the playoffs, like recently, they've not been very.
Like
mean,
if they play a matchup that they can dominate,
I
then
don't know if that's true.
they can front run.
Yeah, but this soul.
If they're playing a matchup they can dominate and just dominate all the way through, then cool.
To be fair, they sold last year against the Hawks, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
If they have to have a close, if they have to get close out Harden, close out Rivers,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a tough one, man.
People are gonna quadruple team Embiid, like,
But yeah,
because
to
they
fair,
know
like
Harden's.
first round would be Philly, Cleveland.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Cavs have what it takes to put the pressure on them on the other end. I think
Yeah.
Garland is getting there, and Mobley is special.
Yeah, but they don't
they're
have
not
like
there yet.
a go-to scorer.
Yeah, they're
that's
not
true.
there yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
And if to fair,
If they get to if they find their way to first, and the Nets stay at 8,
Oof. I think the Nets win that series.
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
If
Kyrie-
I
they
see what Kyrie's situation is.
yeah, the Nets have so many question marks, man. But if
but we saw last year that like Kevin Durant alone can try and carry the team.
Kyrie,
Yeah, of course.
KD
He's
is the
one of the
type
best
of player
players of all
that will put them in a position where,
Yeah,
they will be there. For
exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, so to fair, like that bracket side, Philly, Cleveland, and Brooklyn, Milwaukee. Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and be the first round series.
yeah, you don't really want to be on that side of the bracket.
Yeah, that's why I want to be
Yeah.
finished 4th or 5th. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's why we're losing at the moment.
yeah.
We're tanking for the 5th seed. But I don't want to come up against Boston in the first round.
Who do you want in the first round?
Yeah.
Out of those teams, I want Cleveland.
Yeah, but like realistically, in terms of bracket wise.
Yeah.
Oh, like what side would I want to be on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd obviously rather be on the side of
So-
Boston and Heat because you got less dominant big men.
Unless shit happens and Brooklyn lose to Toronto in the first round. Or
Nah,
they play
no
in.
chance.
If Bam plays the Bulls, he's gonna have another bubble performance.
Bam actually owns Vooch as well. Jesus Christ! Every time he played them, he just embarrasses that man. Oh my god!
But anyway, since we're on the topic of big men right now, so the resurgence of big men right now is insane in the league. Like,
Yeah.
it goes deep as well in
Yeah.
terms of elite big men.
Yeah,
We had Cat's 60-point performance, Bam that we just spoke of,
Jokic, Embiid.
Jokic, Embiid, Giannis. If we put him, well, yeah, Giannis.
Yeah.
Jarrett Allen's had a great
Yeah,
season.
Jared Allen's had a great season. We've got to give respect.
Nikola
To,
Vucevic.
give some respect.
Oh, you can't say slander Vucevic
No,
whole
I was
episode.
joking.
He's
I was
joking.
No, I don't
man.
care. I don't care. You're joking. Like, you can't put like
Even Siakam's had a great year as well.
Is he,
Gone on- he-
though? Is he considering a big man?
It's like 6'11".
Wait, who, sorry?
Siakam.
Yes, yeah.
He's a big man.
But I guess we're talking about
He's
centers.
a man that is very.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
we
centers,
more
okay.
centers.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So.
Um,
Robert
But,
Williams having a good year.
Seen Pokey recently?
Yeah.
He looks like an NBA player now.
Finally.
Jarrett Allen, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Jaron Jackson.
Jared Jackson,
Great,
I
yeah.
wanted to talk
Yes.
about him. Yeah,
Valanciunas
because
having a good
he's not
year,
getting a lot of respect for the Defensive Player of the Year race
Yeah,
as well.
The thing is, big men are back, but they're back in a very different way. Like they're dominating the game in a very different way to how it
Yeah.
was, which is refreshing to see.
Oh, these bigs would get tested for witchcraft back in the 60s.
burn at the stake. But yeah, like the skill level of the big men is, and because they have that size as well as the skill,
Yeah.
you that's why the MVP race is being led by three big men, because they can do it at all facets that their size will allow, because they can be more dominant on the defensive end because of their size, where in a way a guard can't. So I think the trend of big men is gonna dominate the league for a long time to come. I don't know if you saw yesterday, Jokic became the second fastest to 10k points, 5k rebounds, and 3k
Yeah, I
assists.
saw that.
Who's
Yeah.
first one?
Larry Bird, but he did it one game quicker than Jokic. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, having players
The
like
worst
that. in the
MVP
league
of
is-
all time, right?
Yeah. Man. You see, Nick Wright did an MVP ladder, and he had him like fifth. He had Jokic like fifth in MVP.
I don't know why he named 17 players better than Jason Tatum. Like, for what reason? Like, what
Yeah, it was literally like so unprovoked.
like, why? Like,
It
what's
was
the point
So
of that?
random. It's
Like,
so
what,
random.
I don't even care about his opinion.
It's
like,
not even like he was like, let me name the top players and just had them low.
It was
He specifically said
17 better than
17
Tatum.
players better than Jason Tatum. Like, this guy's weird, man. He's probably still pissed about him dunking on LeBron back in the day or something.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know. He's weird.
after him, like when he slandered Nikola Jokic as his worst MVP, I literally don't care about his opinion.
Oh, it took you that.
Because I think that's when I heard from
Oh,
him
right,
the most.
right.
That's the
Yeah.
final nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
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 But yeah. What
We
were we
forgot to mention Julius Randle.
He's been
If
playing
it's
well
last
recently.
season, then
Yeah.
If it's last season,
He's been playing alright recently.
He has, but
Yeah.
But
still,
Sabonis playing well, but he's on the Kings.
the
so it
Knicks
doesn't
said
matter.
the Knicks wanna they're sticking with Tibbs.
oh, I saw
Long.
that. Why? Just why? Literally, there's no benefit to sticking with Tom Thibodeau.
Like,
I mean, it seems no team that Tibbs has coached for wants to let him go quickly.
But no team that Tom Thibodeau has coached has sustainable success.
no,
They never have sustainable success.
no.
do you call last season success?
That's what I mean. But it's a bit of success for the Knicks. Is success
Yeah,
For the
for the
Knicks,
Knicks.
for the
They
Knicks. Is
failed.
success, but it's not sustainable as we see
Yeah.
this year.
This has one like peak year, and then
They are 12.
but your knees can only be so durable. man.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
with the way he runs it.
He's got the physios working overtime, man.
He has like a 2K game plan. Just play all of my best players 45 minutes.
He goes to the settings, turns off manual substitution.
Yeah, it's not sustainable at all.
Yeah,
But we've said we're not talking about poverty on this podcast
Yeah.
anymore. So
yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, the big men are back and they're here to stay, so it's
it's
good.
And then with that, the defensive player of the year race.
Oh,
it's
this
very
was
interesting.
weird.
It's interesting because when like different places you look, it's different. Like
There's no criteria. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the criteria is be big. That's the only criteria.
Yeah.
Because I think it was Draymond that said, Draymond said, I think it was on the JJ Redick podcast, when he was talking about how Gobert's won it a few times. He said Gobert's kind of he's changed the game in terms of defending at the big position, but being different and being revolutionary doesn't mean you're the best, is what he said. And I see the argument against Gobert, the argument for Gobert is that most teams just don't even want to go near the paint. And I can attest to that with watching the OKC series when we lost to them. When he was in our best game, we had a 30-point comeback, I think, and he was in foul trouble, so he missed a game. But you can physically see players like not want to shoot at the rim.
I think in one single asset of the defensive end, he has the biggest impact out of anyone.
Yes, but
if we're talking about one asset,
if you can,
defense is a lot more than one asset.
It's one thing to be worse in some areas than you are in others, but if you can be directly exploited in one area, which is him on the perimeter, I don't think you can be regarded as the best defensive player if you have such a glaring weakness that. Because it's one thing like, my perimeter is not as good as my interior defense, but if it's like if people are game planning to attack you at a certain point, then that's like, you can't be considered the best defensive player in my book.
Yeah, but when he won Defensive Player of the Year, like Jazz was number one.
Yeah. I understand that,
and his impact was mad.
Yeah.
But if you look at Giannis, he made a play the other day, and he made the play in the final, similar to the play in the finals and at Christmas, where he committed solely to one player to help defense, and then got back in the play and blocked, or back in the play in the strip.
That's just an advantage Giannis has over Gobert that Gobert can't possibly do because of the athletic ability difference.
Yeah, true.
Like because Giannis is such a freak athletically, he can make these plays that just no other player can make. And it can win you a game, as we've seen a lot of the times. I think Giannis is like the only player who, not the only player, I think Embiid could do it as well, but like the only player who can make a winning play on the defensive and offensive end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why is it that there seems Defensive Player of the Year seems to be the only award that there's no fatigue with? Like they're just happy to give it to Gobert 3 times.
I just don't think it's glamorous. It's not a glamorous award.
I think
it doesn't throw up as much drama or storylines as other awards.
I think for like players that like
historically though it holds a lot of weight.
Yeah.
In all-time conversations it does.
It holds a lot of weight.
I think we're in a different era where it's like the Instagram highlight era, where offense is valued a lot more. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Especially for casuals.
That's what I mean. That's why the narratives it's not as widely talked about because most of the NBA fans.
I'm talking about media though. I'm talking about media that are voting on these things, and the media have been like I think Draymond said that coaches should vote on it, or either it was him or Pat Beverly. I say coaches because they know they're the ones game planning, saying, but Pat Beverly is in the game. Don't give it to that guard type thing. So
coaches and probably some players like the selected player from each team.
Or you could get like the Players Association to vote for it or something. But because media, I remember they didn't even vote for Klay Thompson for all NBA defense for years.
Yeah.
So
Did you hear Patrick Beverley's argument against Gobert? He said he doesn't guard the other team's best offensive player. So he said like put Gobert one-on-one with the other team's player for 5 seconds, and what happens?
Yeah, but that's
just such like a
that's not a good
a terrible take.
That's a terrible take.
Like
because if you affect the whole team's like game plan, then that's like that's the argument with Curry in terms of on the offensive side. Like his gravity affects the whole floor, so he doesn't have to like go one-on-one with every player, but he's affecting the way the whole team is moving. Yeah, that's a terrible argument.
Like, do you want Gobert to go guard Steph Curry just because he's supposed to be the best defender? Like,
and Pat Bev agitates people, but he gets lit up very routinely.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, people only talk about Pat Bev when he's playing against Russ or LeBron. Like,
Yep.
we're not talking about the other games where he's not playing that well. But yeah, that's not a good argument.
Who do you think is an underrated candidate that isn't getting enough buzz?
I would say Jaren Jackson.
I was gonna say Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr. What he's doing in terms of blocks as well.
Yeah, he's leading league in blocks and averages like 2.2 blocks a game,
Yeah,
something like that.
it's insane.
And like the Grizzlies are topping steals and blocks.
Yeah.
So as a unit, they're like one of the most aggressive defenders in the NBA. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is obviously essential to that.
Yeah, and his potential as an all-time defender with the way he's built, like lateral movement, length, like being able to protect on the inside and the outside. He's got that Giannis type build.
Yeah.
To where he can be an all-time type of defender. So, as I think in the playoffs, he'll start to really show his worth when the stage is there and he can really show what he can do.
Yeah.
That's when he'll start to get his recognition.
What did you make of Draymond Green's comments about him still being able to win the award?
You can't win an award when you play 35 games, something like that.
Yeah, he's missed too many games.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like he said,
there's a lot of other candidates, so he's missed too many games.
Yeah, I think the field's too competitive. But I think in terms of overall impact on a team's defense, he's the best defender in the NBA.
He just missed too many games.
But yeah, missed too many games.
And like talking about Jaren Jackson, like he has 151 blocks this season, leading league. Second is Robert Williams, 122.
So he's by far
like 30 plus ahead.
What did we make of the NBA listing Herbert Jones in their ladder?
Like he's playing well. Like he's playing well defensively, but like you can't put team that is 10th.
I think they just have some algorithm.
From time to time, though.
I think they just have an algorithm with a spreadsheet and they just put it.
Yeah.
But like the NBA will do this from time to time where they'll throw in a rogue shout for a big award just to like deviate the conversation. Like we've seen this.
Oh, every year when you get to this point where like
Chris
Jokic
Paul
is in the MVP, it's Chris Paul.
Yeah,
like,
and stuff like that. Like a little hipster niche shout just to, I don't know why they do it.
And like they not put in like.
And then everyone acts like they didn't watch the 75% of the season, and like
I wouldn't even say Herb Jones is the best rookie defender. I think Evan Mobley is the best rookie defender.
Yeah. And like they're not even like putting Smart or Robert Williams. Like.
I mean, Smart is in like the list of other considerations.
Yeah, but like as on the best defensive team like in the league.
I think both of them will be all.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so as well. They both will be all.
This is why you need a criteria with certain things.
Yeah, they need to think.
You can't just be like, okay, this year we're gonna go off statistics. This year we're gonna go off which team. The best defender on the best team. Yeah. This year we're going to go off who has the best defensive rating. Like you have to keep it consistent.
And I think it's more like sometimes it's just like they look like eye test. Like they just look he plays very well defensively and we'll give an award to him.
Eye test does matter because without eye test, Hassan Whiteside might have a couple defensive player that he is on his. But
yeah,
What do we make of Mikal Bridges at number 3? I think that's a classic case of
because he's one of the few. He's one of the few offensive defenders that is the anchor of the defense on the perimeter, which is hard to do.
Yeah,
it's really difficult.
And he's like classic case of lock down the other team star.
Yeah,
and he's like the best defender on the second best defensive team in the league. So that makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll win it. I think it's between Giannis and Rudy, and I think he'll end up going to Giannis.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Well, I guess before the season, Giannis going to win Defensive Player of the Year, so I'm happy.
Should put some money on it. To be fair, the odds probably would not.
And I said it as well. I think it was probably the consensus as well.
Yeah.
But if Giannis can get that MVP and the Defensive Player of the Year again,
that legacy
and the chip again.
That legacy is looking nice.
That legacy is looking kind of crazy. There's about to be some takes this summer.
Wait, would it be his second Defensive Player of the Year?
Because he won both last year as well. No, the year before, sorry.
Yeah, the year before. Yeah.
But
last year he won the chip, So
that is all we have time for today.
Yeah,
that's our episode. It was a lot of good discussions, calling out some frauds.
Not mentioning some teams.
We've retired.
Just know if there's a fraud in the NBA, we'll find them. We love to call out frauds on this podcast.
We had to bring back slander watch, fraud watch for sure. But yeah, that's all we have time for. Full Quarter Talk podcast. Peace.
Peace.